The east side of Flagstaff has a Purina plant. It always smells like dog food over here. It kind of smells like pizza, and it kind of smells really pretty good.
Hey guys, this is Dylan with the Seasoned Bikepacker, where I provide unbiased reviews, tips, tricks, and general information about bikepacking. Today's video is a recap of my most recent Ultra Endurance bike race, Pinyons and Pines 2022. Today I'm going to cover my results, observations, issues I had on the ride, and I'll even throw in some video I shot while I was out there. Go back and check out my pre-race video where I talked about my plan and strategy going into this race. Now this isn't a route description. There are plenty of really good ride-ups done by many other riders, and I'll put the links for those in the description below. And if you stick around to the end, I'll cover my two main key takeaways from this race. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
We didn't get very far.
All right, a little refresh from the race. It was 310 miles, 25,000 feet of climbing, and it starts and ends in Flagstaff, Arizona. The race was about 25% paved, a ton of gravel roads with some mixed single track that included about 45 miles of Arizona trail. Now there wasn't any rain in the forecast, but it was about 25 degrees in Flagstaff at the start. And the next day, when we got lower in elevation, it was about 95 degrees in Camp Verde. So there was this huge spread of temperature that's always interesting and challenging. There were 52 riders that started. I finished 11th place, and my total time was 2 days, 5 hours, and 24 minutes. So I did have some last minute gear changes that I made. So I pulled out my Big Agnes tent with the Fast Fly setup and my tent poles, and I replaced that with a Soul emergency bivvy. I also pulled my heavy duty rain jacket and replaced it with a Patagonia Houdini. Saved me a little bit of weight with these two choices, and I ended up doing some cowboy camping instead of having some coverage.
It's just rocks, all rocks, forever.
There were some very interesting observations I had. I did fill my bike bags with my goal of 5,000 calories, but I just didn't eat that much. I was basically drinking my calories. I didn't pee as much as I thought I was going to, but I never really felt dehydrated. The Tailwind kept me hydrated to the perfect amount. I never felt weak. I felt strong the entire time. I was able to continue pedaling. I didn't feel that deep muscular weakness that I usually get on the second and third day. It was incredible. I got a little sick of the Tailwind, the taste of it, but I took 3 flavors and I rotated through them to try and keep it fresh. When it got warm, it gets a little hard to keep down, but it was easier to keep down than food. I didn't mention this in my last video. I've been having some problems finding the right sunglasses that fit well, that stay on my face and don't bobble and press with the helmet. Some sunglasses make the bridge of my nose and the tops of my ears sensitive and painful the second and third day. I tried out Goodr brand glasses. They worked really well. They did push and bounce on my helmet a little bit, but they never made the bridge of my nose very sore, and they didn't really make the tops of my ears really sore at all. So I'm gonna keep rolling with those and see how they work out. I didn't listen to my music or my podcast very much. I downloaded a whole bunch of podcasts and I just didn't listen to them. Mainly because I was riding with other people the whole time. And it kept it really social and fun and passed the time well. And I really enjoyed the camaraderie of this race. I stuck to my plan. There were a couple times where I was considering maybe I was gonna have to break my plan.
I'm concerned about the heat in Camp Verde tomorrow. It's gonna be 95 degrees. I'm not interested in that. So I'm gonna try to ride through the night tonight, and I'm gonna try to get through Camp Verde approximately 200 miles in by tomorrow morning.
But I ended up sticking to it. I slept 6 hours a night for 2 nights, and I felt fantastic during the day. And I think it paid off. I rode really fast during the day. Most of the other riders in the top 15, they weren't doing a whole lot of sleeping.
Good morning. I'm sticking to plan. I got up at 4:30. I went to bed at 10. I was asleep by 10:30. Saw some bikers go by in the night early this morning, but that's okay because I feel good. I feel recovered. I slept well, felt refreshed at 4:30, ready to put in a big long day again.
So I did have some problems. You never go a bike pack trip without problems. That's just the way it is, and that's part of the fun. There's always something new. So on the first day, I got hit with some really bad digestive issues.
I'm definitely having some kind of stomach problems. I've had to stop pooped twice. I think if I can get this out, I'll be okay. I'll be in Williams soon.
Thought I was gonna run out of toilet paper. Fortunately, I made it to Williams, took some from the gas station. I was able to resupply my toilet paper, but it kind of slowed me down, and I was really concerned about keeping food down. And at that point, I basically switched to the Tailwind and started just drinking my calories, and it was working well, so that's what I kept doing. So another issue I had was my 510 shoes. I love these shoes, but I have done entirely way too much hike-a-bike in them, and I have worn through the toes. So I kept getting rocks caught in the front of this, and it was really, really annoying. I'd have to stop and dig them out. So it's time for new shoes. So I did go out and get some new shoes. I bought the Pearl Izumi X Alp Canyons. They just looked really nice. They looked hike-a-bike friendly and also lightweight, and they're extremely comfortable. That's one of my non-negotiables with bike shoes is comfort. I did have my rear blinky light mounted onto the back of my seat post. Every time I would hit a bump, it kept turning on by itself. I'd look down and notice that it was on. I was pretty concerned about this because it could run out of battery and then it's not there when I need it, and then I gotta worry about charging it. Next time, I'm going to go ahead and mount that on my backpack so it doesn't randomly turn on with the impact. And one more issue that I had was my 4,500 calories of Tailwind that I started with all didn't fit in my backpack. So I had to put 2 of the bags in my feed bag on my bike. Of course, it opened up, powder everywhere, exploded. So not doing that again. I gotta be able to fit it all in my backpack.
Well, I just had to drink out of a nasty pond. I'm running low on water. It's gross. Yeah. Gross little pond.
One of the issues I had was on the second day of climbing up out of Camp Verde back onto the Mogollon Rim. There was very limited water availability. It's always one of those things that makes Arizona races and the Southwest races way more challenging. Being able to carry enough water, knowing where the water stops are, knowing if they're good solid water sources or questionable cattle ponds. I drank out of one that was really gross and smelled fishy. I could see the little fish sucking up into my filter as I was drinking out of it. It was really pretty nasty. Fortunately, a little bit further, I was able to get to a better, cleaner pond, or little bit of water. I wouldn't really call it a pond. Stagnant water that was drinkable and got us to the next spot. But it's always one of those things in races in Arizona that just make it so challenging. So I do have a couple adjustments I think I'll make for my next adventure. I think I'm gonna try to taper my sleep down to 5 hours a night, and then 4 hours a night, and then 3 hours a night. And really see if I can find that limit where I don't feel as refreshed as I did during this race. Because if I can cut off an hour here, an hour there, it adds up, and I'll be able to get from 11th place maybe into 6th or 7th place just by making a small little change. One other adjustment I would make is taking into consideration the amount of Tailwind I can carry for the amount of days that I'll be riding. 4,500 calories of Tailwind will take me about 3 days in distance, and that's about as much as I can carry in one go. If I want to go 3, 4, 5, 6 days or longer, the Arizona Trail, I'm gonna have to figure out how to adjust my Tailwind so I can split it with real food and stretch it a little bit further. So here are my 2 key takeaways that I thought were the most important out of everything that I learned from this race. The first one is Tailwind works for me. It just worked. It was incredible how well it worked. I have never had anything like that work that well. Everybody's different, and Tailwind may not work for you. You may need some other sort of supplement, but I think the general idea is if you can drink your calories and subsidize with some food, that's the way to go. It's the lightest, most efficient way to get calories straight to your muscles. So my second key takeaway from this race, make a plan, make a strategy, and stick to it judiciously. There were a couple times where I thought, oh, I can go into the night, or I'm gonna have to ride extra past my 10 o'clock cutoff so I can get through the heat. I didn't end up having to do it because I moved so quickly during the day. And I really, in hindsight, think that paid off more than anything else. Before you do a race, know the elevation, know the water stop, know the food stop, plan everything out, meticulously plan it out. Know when you're gonna sleep, know what time you're gonna wake up, and stick to it. Because when I start going off the plan, I start second guessing myself, thinking I made a bad decision. It gets in my head. And with bike packing, it's all about these little things. So if you want to get better, if you want to be successful, you got to put in the work before the race and then just execute it during the race. There's an excitement at the beginning of these races and that first day. But what makes bike packing so special is your ability to perform the second and third and fourth and fifth day. So if you have a plan and you can stick to it, you will be successful. I hope this post-ride recap has been helpful. I want to thank the Pinyons and Pines race director for putting together another great race this year. Congratulations to Andrew Strimke, the first place male, and Katie Strimke, the first place female. They are incredible riders and an inspiration to me to get better.
This is it. There is no better feeling than this. I'm on the 180 and I'm almost there, baby. This is the end. I gotta wait for this train. I literally gotta go like on the other side of the street. So we start with the train and we end with the train. Yeah!